If you want your camera setup to look like this, then keep watching, because I'm about to break down 2 sets of gear. One if you're on a tighter budget, and the other one if you're ready to ball out a bit. And if you want to get clickable Amazon links to all the gear I talk about inside of this video, just click the gear list link in the description. Now I'm gonna hop onto my computer and screen share for you guys. So first things first, we have the tier 1 budget setup, which is iPhone based. So for your camera, you're literally gonna use any iPhone. If you have a MacBook computer, this can wirelessly connect to your iPhone. So you actually don't need wires or anything like that. Although you can do a wired connection just so it keeps charging and also the connectivity is better. So I basically have a second phone, which is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is what you guys are seeing right now. I also have like an iPhone 16, but that's my main phone. I don't use it as a camera. And then that other camera you were seeing earlier, don't worry, I'll name drop that in a bit. But this is my desk office setup. Me and my clients have tried many different webcams, and honestly, iPhone literally crushes it every time. Like if you use like a Logitech Brio, it tends to look pretty like smudged, or the 1080p version of the Logitech webcam is also pretty bad. So honestly, iPhone's like the good old reliable, and it's wireless. It connects great. I've had no issues. So next, I use this MagSafe phone mount to mount the iPhone on top of my monitor. So this is what it would look like on a laptop. Of course, same thing on a monitor. I've tried many different ones, and this one's the best, and my phone never drops or anything. I've had no issues. So this will run you about 30 bucks. Next, in terms of lighting, if you're on a budget, the best lighting by far is going to be natural light from Windows. It's pretty hard to beat that. However, if you do need to buy a light a bit later in the guide, I have some options for you. But any cheap ring light will do, or you can drop about like 100 to 200 bucks to get a softbox. Next, in terms of your audio, by far the best is going to be the Shure MV7 Plus microphone. It is a little bit on the pricier side if you're on a budget, you know, it's at $270, but it's just so worth it because you can have a bad camera and a good microphone and people will still watch your video, but it's not the other way around. That's why audio is super, super important. I really don't recommend skimping out on it. You can just make more money and be able to afford this. But if you're in a very tight spot, some other microphones that are good, you could actually use your phone microphone. Of course, you wouldn't be able to use this phone if it's mounted up there. You'd need to get another phone and like hold it up to your mouth. You could also use like that microphone that comes with your wired headphones with your iPhone. Or if you want an external mic, you can get a Blue Yeti, which is about $100. But honestly, the extra 170 bucks is worth it for the Shure mic. Just make sure you get this exact one because the other one is more expensive and it has an XLR connection. It's just so much headache. Just get this one. Next, practically any boom arm will work. The one I linked here is $109, but there's different options. Like you can even get one for a bit cheaper, but this is just the one I have here for you guys. So in terms of the total budget you're going to need for the tier 1 setup, your phone, ideally you already have one. You can actually buy used ones on Facebook as well for a couple $100. But let's say you ball out and get like a brand new one, you know, it's going to be about $1,000 to $1,500. But if you're on a budget, just buy a used one. It'll be like 300 bucks. You can get like an iPhone 10, 11, 12. For the sake of this video, I'm going to count this as free because you probably already have an iPhone. By the way, if you have an Android and it's good, you can use that as well. But iPhone is just the best. So next for the mount, that's $30. The light is free. The Shure microphone is about $260. And then the boom arm is $100. So this is basically $460 total, somewhere in that range. We can round it up to 500 bucks in case you have to buy a ring light or some sort of light. Next is going to be the tier 2 setup. I have 2 camera options listed here. Honestly, I much prefer this one. I've owned both. So the Sony ZV-E10 is $830, but honestly, like sure, it looks cool. And if you give it to a really skilled videographer, he can figure out how to make it look good. But like the FX30 is just so crisp, right? It's like $1,800, but again, it's so crisp. This is the same camera I was using in the hook of this video. As you saw, I'll put the clip up on screen right now. It's very crisp. Some people tell you, oh, you should just go all out, get the FX3 instead, but it's not worth it. Like the FX3 is just slightly better at recording in low light, and that's practically it. Camera nerds will try and tell you certain things like, oh, you need to get an FX3, blah, blah, blah. You won't regret it. But the FX30 is like basically the same thing. I have friends who have an FX3 and an FX30, and they told me they couldn't even tell the difference. So just go with the FX30. Now, in terms of your lens, basically the FX30 comes with a kit lens. However, it's not as good as this one. So I recommend you buy this one. It is another $638. The good thing with this one is you can change the zoom, and f2.8 basically means the blurriness of the background. So the lower the number is, the more blurry the background is going to be. My old lens I was using, I think was like 1.4 or 1.8. I was a bit concerned when it came down to switching to an f2.8 lens. I didn't know if the background was going to be blurry enough because that's what really creates the depth and high quality feel. But I was actually pleasantly surprised. It looked really good, as you guys saw in the hook of this video. So next, in terms of lighting, you're going to need one softbox pointing at your face. So this is the light I recommend getting. So again, this is the light that goes inside of the softbox. So this is 135 bucks. From there, you're going to need to buy the softbox, which is anywhere from like 100 bucks, 70 bucks, somewhere somewhere in that range. Now I do have to say this one here is like gigantic. I bought this one not knowing how big it is. It works great and I've kept it, but it's massive. So the one I used to have when I lived in Canada was this smaller one. It's like a Light Dome Mini 3. And honestly, this one is all you need. It's actually $30, a bit less, but it's a lot more practical. Like the other one is gigantic. Next, you're gonna need a stand to put the light on, like the softbox and the aperture Amaran light. So just make sure you get one that's actually good quality. Like don't get one that's very weak and flimsy for like $10, because the softbox and the light is actually like decently heavy. And if you have a plasticky sort of one, it's going to be wobbly and, you know, it won't be safe. If you get one like this, you know, it doesn't cost that much more, made of like aluminum or something more sturdy, it'll work a lot better. So the next thing you can buy is a RGB light. So for this one, you basically just point it at the side of your face and it can create some color. You can also point it at the background as well to create like a red background, green background, etc. Literally any RGB light like this, you can just search RGB light panel and just make sure it has this type of thing at the bottom, which they all should. It'll run you anywhere from like $30 to $100, but this is the one that I personally use. It's a pretty cheap one and it works well. If you do buy one of these, you are going to need to buy another light stand so that you can actually put the light panel on that light stand. So next, in terms of mounting the camera, I have two options here. So you can either get a tripod, which looks like this, so you can put the camera on it, or if you're using this as a desk setup, what you can do is you can get something like this. It's a camera desk mount, so you don't need to have a giant tripod behind your desk. You can just have this clamped to the desk. I've used both are great. So next, in terms of connectivity, you basically have two options. So for option A, you can just record straight on the camera into an SD card and then take that SD card, put it into your computer and then extract the files. Or option B is you can take that camera and plug it into your computer and then record using a software called OBS. Both of these work. The good thing about the first option is that you can record and generate a video file, which includes your camera in the bottom right, just like you're seeing now, along with the screen. You can also switch scenes while you're recording, so you can go into a full face scene, you can switch back to the screen. But if you record into the SD card, on the other hand, you're gonna have to get the video editor to sync it up with the screen share footage, and the editor would have to do all the switching, etc. So both options are good. Most people tend to go with plugging it into the computer and recording it at the same time. Sorry to confuse you guys a little bit, but I'm at the moment recording straight into the SD card just because then there's like less chances of issues or anything. I just like keeping things simple, but I was using this setup for like a year before I moved. So the first thing is going to be a micro HDMI cable. This is going to plug into your Elgato Cam Link that plugs into your computer. And then this is the micro HDMI that goes into your camera. So that's anywhere from $6 to $20. This one specifically is $6. And then you're going to need an Elgato Cam Link 4K. So what this is basically it plugs into your computer, and then the HDMI from the camera plugs into the backside here. And then this is what takes the camera feed and then translates it into something that your computer can understand what's going on. And next, you're gonna have to get a dummy battery. This is ideal because it makes it so you don't have to charge your camera. You can just always leave it turned on. And then finally, we have the SD card. Honestly, these are so cheap. I recommend you just buy one in case you need it. If you have the budget for it, I recommend going up to 512 gigs, but 256 is completely fine as well. Just make sure every couple video shoots, you're deleting everything on the SD card. Finally, for audio, I'm not going to click into these again since I already ran through them. Shure mic and the boom arm are your best bet. And finally, this is an optional add-on. If you want to get a teleprompter, which is basically something you can use to read word for word scripts, but still maintain eye contact with the camera lens. The best one in the market right now is the Elgato teleprompter. It has a built-in screen. There's also cheaper options, but you would need an iPad to reflect onto the glass. Again, this is completely optional, but most people are using this one right now because it's like the best option. So that's it for this video. If you want to get the links to everything I just showed you, just click the second link in the description. Now, once you get all that video gear, I know you probably want to figure out what type of videos you should make. So I made a full free course on YouTube. It should be on screen right now. It's also going to be linked in the description. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.